me. Come roll with me in my Mercedes. Hold up, I see they broke, I see they lazy. Man, they money slim, they actin' shady. I'm in my brand new car, who wanna race? Girl, you ain't come off phone, so why you showing up? Never. I'm taking them shots up, my partners, they loaded up. Man, on the low, all these be acting so material. Hold up, we them boys. Hold up, we them boys. Making noise. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up, we them boys. Hold up, we them boys. Hold up, we making noise. Hold up, we them boys. DJ Khaled.
coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. And I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Live from New York, 2K Sports proudly brings you Knicks basketball. And it's back to Miami for the Heat at the conclusion of today's game. A great start to the season for them, notching 3 wins to tip it off.
And I think for Miami, they've got to be thrilled with the way this season has started for them.
A different look for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Williams comes in for Porzingis. And it's Calderon in for Aaron Aflalo. And then for Miami, Amari Stoudemire, who's checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. And Freak subbed in for Goran Dragic. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. Johnson is out there with Stoudemire. And it's Freak in at the 1.
And you guys, he was once considered a tweener. But now I think Derrick Williams has kind of settled in to that 4 position. Seems to be the best position fit for him at this stage of his career.
Stoudemire, the screen, just 5 to shoot. Here's Freak. And the 3 ball is good. And the Heat lead by 5.
Nice stroke from long range. And if he keeps getting those opportunities, he better take them.
Last year, Williams did find a nice niche playing the 4. Still, his minutes and numbers, Clark, remain low.
Well, it's unfair because he was drafted so high, top 5 when he came out. And I don't think he'll ever live up to that draft position. The highlight dunks are great, but he's got to find other ways to continue to grow.
Here's Roten, and they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Roten's got 5 points so far. Making free throws a big key for any team. Let's see the best in the NBA. Number 1, the Knicks.
You can't be careless when you play them. I mean, no wasted opportunities at the line. It's a team effort, and they're getting it done.
And the Knicks making a change here. Thomas is checked in. Winslow's checked in for Miami. Gerald Green comes in for Dwayne Wade. Johnson the screen. Now here's Freak. He's covered by Roten. So the Heat, their last game, a win against the Detroit Pistons.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance. And road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
Here's Thomas. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And there's Roten, and that's good on the assist by Calderon. And now just a 2-point Heat lead. Stoudemire outside. Pass to Freak. From deep. And Gerald Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Knicks have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Double team on Thomas. Kicks to O'Quinn. Here's Roten. That's tipped. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Off the inbound. No good. And the Heat going the other way now. Last time they met was in Miami.
Yeah, a dominant win for them their last time in this matchup. And what jumps off the stat page was their advantage on the boards.
Yeah, they were overpowering inside, and you've really got to like their chances, Greg, if they can replicate that tonight.
Here's Freak. And it comes off the rim with a high bounce.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
The kick out to Williams. And there's another one for the Knicks.
Really good job there. That's the definition of the inside-out game.
Miami's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Johnson the screen. Here's Freak. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Freak's got 9.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Now here's Roten. Tight defense on him. Misses in close.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Williams. 6 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by New York. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
How about the athleticism on display defensively in that win?
Yeah, it was reflected in their shot block. Total, Greg. I mean, they were very disruptive, which I think is a combination of hustle and muscle.
Well, guys, what a nice surprise Tony Roten was last season, especially effective taking over at the point, Clark, with Michael Carter-Williams gone.
Yeah, Roten put up a career-high 5 assists per game and really worked hard at the defensive end as well. He's one of the few talents on the Sixers roster that hadn't been traded away.
Johnson the screen. Now here's Freak. He's got 9. Knocked loose.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is. He shouldn't be firing from that deep.
Sinks the triple. Freak's got 12.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
For New York, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. The first one falls. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Here's Roten. Oh, he hits it! Oh, how about that shot?
Big time! Big time!
Incredible!
3 points at the buzzer.
Definitely an answer to prayer there.
And some tough times for the Knicks, but you listen to Carmelo Anthony, it's clear he's invested in this franchise.
They pulled all the strings to get me here, and I wanted to be here. And yeah, I want New York to be that place where guys want to come play in New York, you know, and I want to retire in New York. I mean, let's just be quite frank.
Knicks fans rooting for Carmelo to help make New York a playoff venue once again.
And you know what? It's going to take a lot more than Carmelo playing strong to get the Knicks back into the playoffs and to make them a destination to where NBA stars want to come.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. And it's Dragic in at the point. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Greg, you're right with Porzingis. It made sense for him to wait one more year. Clark has a lot to learn, but still comes over, as a much talked about player, a much better player than had he declared last season.
I agree with you. Yet he'll still need time to develop, but all the ingredients are there. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Yeah, the Latvian had a great shot for his height, and he'll be an interesting stretch for in the NBA.
Good call.
And Dwayne Wade, as we know, one of the best in the business at blocking shots from that off-guard position. Hard to think of a guard who has had as many swats as Dwayne Wade in the past couple decades. One of the best ever.
That free throw good from Wade. Greg, you're talking about Wade on the blocks. Last season, he climbed up to 6th all-time in blocks, Clark, by an NBA guard.
Amazing. Actually has the most blocks of any player who is his height or shorter in NBA history. Even with his explosiveness waning, his timing and savvy allow him to still be effective blocking shots.
Rebounded by Anthony.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
That's good.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Dragic against Calderon. Here's the teardrop. It's rebounded by New York. Passes it to Porzingis. Some nice passing by New York here. No one near him. That ball's nice feed this time from Jose Calderon. The Heat trail by 3. It's stripped in by Whiteside.
That's what I like. A nice, strong finish inside.
That's what he does. He's got that dunker mentality.
My goodness. Physicality personified right there. Able to just go up and finish over the biggest defender.
Calderon, that's good. Calderon's got the lead up to 3 now for the Knicks.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Wade against the Flalo. No one near Whiteside as he lets it go. And there's another one for the Heat.
D. Wade with an excellent pass there.
And here's Anthony from the arc. No luck. And the Heat going the other way now. And Dang, here we go. Again, the Heat good for 2. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. And a follow kicks to Anthony. Lopez, a screen on Dragic. Shoots off the screen, and the Knicks good for 2. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And, guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
New York's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. They set the pick. Down low. Here's Porzingis. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
That free throw good from Porzingis. The Miami Heat came up short last season in hopes of getting back to the playoffs. Clark, their road record didn't help them much.
Yeah, 17-24. I don't think you can be that far under 500 on the road and hope to play in the postseason.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And how about for the Heat having the best road record of any team that didn't make the postseason in the East? But as you said, struggling on the road will sink a team battling for a playoff spot.
Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Wow, back and forth start, that's for sure. Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Dragic with a wide open look. That 3 off the mark.
You know, one final note, guys, on the Heat and their road losses. They ended up going only 2-8 in their last 10 road games of the year. That was a big part of how they fell out of the 8th playoff seed. That is really poor defensive awareness. I mean, he's one guy you don't want to give any space to. You've got to stay attached and connected.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Here's Calderon. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. For Miami, they've gone 7 for 10 here in the second quarter. They'd like to keep up that nice pace. New York trailing. Afflalo outside. Dishes it to Carmelo. And it's Anthony again missing. Wade kicks to Dang. He trains the quick shot. Tang's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Here's Afflalo. New York, no good that time either.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Calderon against Dragic. The teardrop falls in. Dragic has got his first 2 points of the night.
They've really flipped things around offensively.
Yeah, and anytime you can make more than half of your shots, you'll take that.
Calderon, no good.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Derek Williams, he checked in for New York. Tony Roten comes in for Jose Calderon. Off the inbound, and there's Green on the assist by Winslow. Green's got the lead up to 8 now for Miami. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And that one's good. Roten.
Next round, 38.
Freak with it. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit. And that's going to be a turnover. They called for 8 seconds.
And a quick look at the numbers for Roten. He's putting up 13 points a game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
Hey, every train needs a conductor, man. He unifies his teammates, sets the tempo, and they make some sweet, sweet music.
Out of bounds, New York takes possession.
In a tough league like the NBA, here's where Miami sits right now in the league rankings. 4th in steals, 9th in opponent points per game. They're in the top 3rd in the league in blocks. They're a team that really doesn't give many good looks.
And that ranking in the steals category, airtight perimeter defense, is one of the things that makes this team go. Their aggressiveness, for me, sets them apart.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Porzingis, and Thomas subbed in for Anthony. Williams with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. 6 to shoot. Now here's Roten. D right on him, and the Knicks miss again. Amari Stoudemire, with the change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
Here's Roten. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Magic in Orlando. The shot's good from O'Quinn. And here's Here's Freak. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Miami. Solid start to the season so far, sitting in 6th place. And, of course, New York, 2 games back.
And right now for Miami, they've started the season on a high note. We thought it may take a while for them to kind of find their groove, but it doesn't look like they're going anywhere here or any concerns about growing pains.
No, I agree with you. I mean, their game and their style is already fully developed. They look rock solid to me.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
4 turnovers for him now in the quarter, Kevin, and he just isn't taking care of the ball out there.
New York's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. Here's Roten. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Shoots the 3, and the Knicks hit again from deep.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
And no doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. Let's take a brief moment to look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's feistiest defensive teams. In 4th, the Heat.
One of the things that's made this team so effective is their ability to get takeaways. I mean, they do an excellent job defending the ball and also jumping into the passing lanes, and they're all together defensively. That's one of the reasons they're amongst the league leaders in steals.
Here's O'Quinn. The rebound by Johnson.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
We've just seen them make mistakes on back-to-back trips, but those turnovers could have been avoided. Careless mistakes.
Absolutely. They have got to get a tighter handle on the ball.
Roten kicks to Thomas. And it's Miami with the rebound. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game, and that game will kick off a 4-game homestand. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Now here's Roten. He's covered closely.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
You know, you hate to blame anybody, but those turnovers are a big reason why they're down.
And Miami making a change here. Dragic has checked in. Knicks on offense. A 12-0 run right now and counting. Here's Roten. And it's Dragic with the rebound.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well. Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Roten dishes to Afflalo. Drills the three-pointer. Afflalo's got 5 points in the quarter.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Move the ball. Stick it to
Clock at 6. It's Dragic with the drive. It's through for a second basket. He's now 2 for 6.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his wake.
Now Roten. He's got 22. Afflalo the pass to O'Quinn. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
I tell you what, nice job making the most of their opportunities.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
Well, I know last year the Knicks seemed to me to be very passive offensively, and that can sometimes be the case when you're trying to learn the triangle offense, but they never seem to attack the rim at all.
So he gets them both. Greg, as you mentioned, the Knicks very shy at going to the rim last year. Really could have used that dynamic among a lot of things to their game.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. I mean, think about this. The Knicks were last in the league in drives per game as a team. So they struggled shooting. When they did attack the rim, only 42%. So those areas have to improve if this team wants to become competitive.
On the wing, Williams pulls it up. No good from the wing.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Knicks out front as they end the second quarter with a tremendous 17-4 run. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
You guys had the lead after the first, but now find yourselves behind. What's the mindset of this team heading into the break?
I think we're still upbeat. We would like to have a stronger second quarter, but we know there's a lot of game left. Hopefully we can get back how we started the game. That's all I got.
You simply can't get enough of you. Thanks for joining us. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close as the first if we pay attention to a couple of things. The amount of scoring we got from close range was great. Keep looking to make those quick-fire entry passes. It's hard to argue with a bunch of layups and six-footers. I'll say this for us, though. Our shot selection has been terrific. We haven't forced things, and the shots are dropping for us because of that patience. And just to talk about what we want for the pace of the game, I'd say nice and steady suits us just fine. It doesn't have to be a track meet. All right, guys, let's get out there and play a good second half.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Excellent game we've seen from Tony Rote. 22 points, and he's unleashed a barrage of three-pointers on him.
And Clark, you can tell they're good right now when the ball leaves his hand. He has racked up a ton of points.
Aflalo is out there with Tony Rote. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then it's Anthony, and it's Porzingis in at the 4. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Kurt Rambis. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Porzingis has got the first points of the second half here for the Knicks. Dragic kicks to Whiteside. Dang goes in. Here's Bosch, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Just some amazing stats put up by Chris Bosh early in his career, but having been in the shadow of LeBron and D. Wade over the past few seasons, one wonders if Bosh is now a little bit underrated.
All right, now,
he's talented and gives you everything you want from the power forward spot.
And that one falls for Bosh. Well, getting back to Chris Bosh, it's always difficult to reshape your game around a superstar teammate. I mean, just ask Kevin Love last year.
You know, it's such a good point. When you think about Bosh, you know, he isn't the kind of guy who demands special attention. You know, he's not mugging for the press. He's not out there for himself. He just really lets his play speak for itself. And you won't find many bigs who are as versatile as he is. And much underrated, I think, as a pick-and-roll defender.
And it's Aflalo penetrating. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
It's hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
One shot. One shot.
And that one falls for Aaron Aflalo. The Heat trail by 9. And there's the feed to Bosch. Right side a screen. Dragic kicks to Dang. And it's off from three-point range. New York's gone 7 of 11 from deep tonight, using the three-pointer to their advantage. Lopez a screen. The wide open look here for Anthony. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Wade left side. And yes, sir, that one drops. Wade's got 9.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Porzingis passes to Anthony. Some nice passing by New York here. Roten dishes to Aflalo. Pass to Anthony. Shot clock at 6. Nice D from Dang.
Move it. Move it.
Good look for New York. Williams comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Calderon in for Roten. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Josh McRoberts is checked in for Whiteside.
Move the ball.
Wright comes in for Luol Deng. Green, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Freak subbed in for Goran Dragic. On the floor for Miami, Freak, he's in at the point. McRoberts at the 4 with Bosch at center. Gerald Green out there with Darrell Wright. New York, no good that time either. For Miami, they've gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Here's Freak. That 3 off the mark.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
There's a screen. Calderon with it. Out defended by Freak. Williams kicks to Calderon. Anthony against Wright. And stolen by Wright. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. And it's good.
And I love that the instant that steal was made, they were out in the open floor.
Ball pressure leading to the run out. Man, it doesn't get much nicer than that. That is sweet, sweet stuff.
Williams kicks to Calderon. And it's Miami with the rebound.
Move it.
Green's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Now here's Freak.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Williams against Green. Calderon has the open look. Lopez. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. Switcher also for New York. Thomas is checked in. And then for Miami, Winslow's checked in for Bosch. Gerald Green comes in for Dwayne Wade. And Freak subbed in for Goran Dragic. Anthony, the pass to Lopez. That's no basket. His 3rd miss in 8 tries. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Freak with it. Clock at 6. From deep. It's hauled in by Thomas. Nick shooting only 35% in the 4th quarter. The offense looking a little rickety. Anthony on the wing. There's the dish to Calderon. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Anthony's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Freak.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending. And that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
Anthony dishes to Calderon. And stolen by Freak. And it's the Heat on the break. Here's Green, and he finished it off with the lay-in. Green's got 4 points this quarter. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Calderon, that's good. And for the international rules of goaltending, players are allowed to touch the ball after it hits the iron, even if it is over the cylinder.
I'm not sure if the NBA is going to adapt that rule, but I think it wouldn't be a big deal to adapt it because there aren't a lot of times that play happens in the game. I think it would be a small percentage of those plays over the course of a season.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Thomas. And a wide open look for Freak. And the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That's his 4th foul of the contest. And new group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis. Langston Galloway's checked in for Anthony. And it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. Grant kicks to Williams. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, nobody said, Greg, being in the NBA was with a feint of heart. The Knicks in a few short years have gone from a playoff team, unfortunately, to the worst team in the NBA.
Hard to fathom, Kevin, that the Knicks did enter last season with playoff aspirations, but that quickly vanished. They were just completely overmatched and overwhelmed.
Josh McRoberts has checked in for Miami. 6 to shoot. Now here's Freak. He's covered by Grant. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
This is a joke.
New York's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter.
You know, the Knicks made the playoffs every season between 1988 and 2001. It's kind of strange now to see the Knicks struggle to get into the playoffs so often. Only 3 trips in the playoffs the last 10 seasons.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Knicks.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
And now, for the year, this is going to take him to 7 wins.
And after losing the first of this 4-game season series, they've gotten their revenge tonight, evening things up 1-1 with 2 games left to play against the Heat.
And so many key players that you can point to tonight, but in particular, a great game for Roten. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go.
Jose Albert.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Bad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his
You're always gonna have people who don't believe that you're really good at what you do, you know, and that's probably more so because they haven't figured out how to be good at what they know or don't even know how to do, you know. So, you know, that's just what it is. You know, every level you reach, you're gonna come against obstacles. And you have to combat those obstacles in order to move forward. It's almost like you're playing a video game. You know what I mean? And then the prize is your sanity. Word.
Ha! Come on with it. Come on with it.